Good morning to you. Really good to have you join me again. I want to talk to you today about some stuff that I've been reflecting on in the past kind of week or two. I listened to another one of those messages that I've told you before. I like to listen to a pastor in America, a guy by the name of Darren Davis. He's from Harbour Church in the States. And I was just listening to one of his messages. It was only a really short message. I think they had problems with a hurricane and stuff. And they had one Sunday where they had a really, really short message. And he was talking about something that God had laid on his heart from, I believe it's from Hebrews. He didn't actually give the verse specifically, but he spoke around the verse. And I just want to share that verse with you. And I just want to share some thoughts that I've had as I've been kind of contemplating this stuff for myself. It's Hebrews chapter 12 and reading from verse 26. His voice shook the earth at that time. But now he has promised, yet once more I will shake not only the earth, but also the heavens. This expression, yet once more, indicates the removal of what can be shaken, that is, created things, so that what is not shaken might remain. That's quite a big couple of verses for our time, eh? Are we in the time where God is shaking things? And, all this COVID stuff and the way that the world is just so different today than what it was even just 6 months ago. Thinking about the start of the new year and all the prospects people had for the new year and stuff. And it does feel like life has been shaken somewhat. I know if you look at industry, if you look at business, if you look at the church life, if you look at education, sports world, everything seems to have gone through some kind of shaking. And is this what this passage of scripture is indicating? Is this are we in the time where God is shaking things? I think can't deny that we are, even if there's still yet more to come. I don't want to get into end time prophecies and all that kind of stuff, but I definitely think that this past year has been something of a shaking of all kinds of things. And one of the things that Darren actually highlights is that the things that remain that can't be shaken are things that come out of the kingdom, basically. The things of God. Things like, if you look through scripture, you see what stuff is solid. It's kingdom orientated, and it comes directly from our God. And it's things like faith, hope, and love. Faith can't be. The faith coming out of the kingdom. Faith coming out of our relationship with God. That stuff can't be shaken. If the world is shaken, that stuff is still going to remain. It's still going to remain intact. It can go through the most violent of volcanoes and earthquakes and stuff like that, and yet still it will remain faith, hope, and love. But that's from a kingdom side of things. I also think I've been meditating and thinking myself, what about from my perspective? Because I think some people have had their faith shaken. They've had their hope shaken, and maybe even their love shaken in these past few months as we've gone through this virus stuff. People have been questioning, is God still in control of things? Am I going to make it through? Is God going to be able to work all things out for good and all that kind of stuff? The stuff that we hold dear to as Christians. Some people's faith really has been shaken. And I think from my own perspective, the shaking has taken place, but my faith is strong. My faith in God is probably stronger now than it ever has been. I think the whole COVID thing and this whole lockdown and what we've had to endure, in many ways for me has been a really positive time, because it's caused my faith, caused my commitment and my relationship with God, I think, to go into a deeper level. And I feel quite strong in my faith. All praise be to God, obviously, but I feel quite strong in my faith. My hope, I think that's born out of the fact that I've got quite a strong faith at the moment in God, and I've seemed to be coming through this with my faith very much intact. I think my hope is very much that things are going to turn around, that God is going to turn all this stuff around, and He's going to make good out of this. And the ministry that He's given me is still something that I can pursue as a follower of Christ, and I'm believing God for great things. So my hope is still very much intact. My love, that's something that's been not just shaken in the last few months, but it's been shaken over a period of time. And I think that's probably where I need to cry out to God and say, help me to put solid foundations as far as the whole love thing's concerned. I'm a person that's been disappointed for one reason or another on a number of things. I've been let down by a number of people over the years, and yeah, love, it's not that I don't love. I love my wife, I love my family, I love my daughter, I love my church. Yeah, I love God, first and foremost. But I know there's times when I struggle to love people, yeah, especially when I feel you've kind of let me down or something like that. And, yeah, in the past it's kind of generated even resentment and bitterness in me, and that stuff's not of God. That's not what I want. And so, yeah, if all three of these things have been shaken as almost like a test, my faith is intact, my hope is intact, but my love could do with some work. I'm asking God today, help me to love with your kind of love, even those who let me down. Unconditional love. It's not conditional on people doing the things I want them to do, or being on the same page as me and all that kind of stuff. Unconditional love. So my challenge to you is, our world undoubtedly has been shaken. Maybe your faith, maybe your hope, maybe your love, maybe all this kind of stuff, the foundational stuff of your belief, maybe that's been shaken as well. How strong is your faith at this time? How strong is your hope? Do you have a hope for good things coming? And what about your love? How strong is your love? See, I believe that if we recognise any changes that need to take place, if we bring those changes to God and put our faith and trust in Him, He's able to do amazing things, and He can restore your faith, He can restore your hope, and He can certainly increase your love and increase your hope. So yeah, I hope that what I've shared this morning, as I say, it's reflections on stuff that I listened to from this little sermon from Darren Davis. I will put the link in the description so you can watch it for yourself. But I do hope that what I've shared this morning has kind of prompted you to think about these verses from Hebrew and how things have been shaken and how you can come out the other side. I'm going to finish on that note, guys. God bless you, and thank you for listening.